Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister thanks you. And I thank you.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
It's the Al Travis Show. We're lucky to have her on. She's Shannon Watson. She's the one who started the Majority in the Middle, and we've talked to her for a while. Get to know a guest once in a while. So I told Shannon that we're just up in 60 seconds, and I looked down to push some buttons and looked up, and it looked like she was throwing back a fifth of Jack Daniels until she put the bottle down, and then I realized it was just, leaf tea, But I looked up like, wow, she's getting herself prepped for the show, and then it was green tea. How are you doing, Shannon? It was just tea.
Doing very well. How are you, Al?
Hey, I don't judge. You want to have, you do you, but okay, green tea works. I no taste for that stuff whatsoever. None.
You and most of Canada. This is what I drink instead of coffee. This is my brand of choice.
And it's green leaf, by the way. Free plug to them. They want to be a sponsor. Feel free. Okay.
Pure leaf tea. I think it's a Pepsi product or Coke. I don't know which one. Yeah. Anyway, I was in Canada for the last 2 weeks, and you cannot buy this in Canada. You can buy like the sweet tea version. Yeah. You cannot buy this, and so I am so happy.
Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't even have sweetener in it. That's literally just that nasty rye tea. Oh, okay, can't do it. Can't drink it to save my soul. No, thank you.
Oh, this is my jam.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm kind of glad it wasn't JD, although I thought that's what it was when you threw her back. I'm like, hey, morning shots. Everybody does their thing. All right. No judgment. Speaking of no judgment, I got to judge you a little bit.
Okay.
You do Majority in the Middle, and I love you for it. I honestly think this is a fantastic operation, a fantastic thing to do. And then as we start talking this week on the show, it's going to be interesting. Braver Angels is now a sponsor of the program. Yep. People trying to be in the middle of this to make things better. And we were talking about it Monday or Tuesday. Must have been yesterday because today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. That we're now to that point. It's probably been long enough. The Mitchell trial's going on. Eichern's his lawyers got to throw their crap out there. And now it's, I think, going to become this feeding frenzy that we've all become accustomed to. That the goodness is going away, and I'm sad about that. And that's the same time you come out with, what can we do, weeks? And I'm like, when does she stop beating her head against this rock? Wonderful idea, and I want to talk about it, but I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. First, let's bust it down. Am I wrong about that? I think all the senators and reps that I am friends with or follow have been very good so far. I don't know if I would say anybody's crossed a line yet a month after the shootings. And I think that's wonderful. Maybe they really got scared and want this to change. But the knuckleheads, right? The right-wingers, the left-wingers over here, they've already started. And now this next week is a feeding frenzy of what's going to happen in the news and in the trial. And let me give you my brilliant expertise because I heard her say this. And this is going to be a terrible week. I'm sorry. That's my gut. Do you think I'm wrong?
I don't. And I do think there's a number of people who are still they're still grieving. And a month sounds like a long time unless,
you're not involved.
I mean, right. I mean, with your dad, it just happened. So those things take a while. And then, grief is never, you progress through the stages, but sometimes you loop back around and sometimes, So anger is one of the stages of grief. Yeah. And I think it's very easy to point fingers at the other side and say, well, our side, our people were attacked. Our people were the ones on the list. And you all, you didn't experience the same thing that we experienced. Yeah. And while that can be true, I also think that sort of divide that you're creating, which we are talking about a political context where we create divides for a living, and that's so. I think this is just going to kind of make it worse. I think the governor did call the special election for September, was it 12th or 14th or whatever that was. Yeah. 12th, and candidates are starting to declare. So I think that's going to be
the business has to go on. I think Portman would say at some point the business has to go. The business does. Yeah. How we do the business can be different.
Absolutely.
I look at it, and hopefully if I say this loud enough, somebody will hear it and they won't. Those who do those things, that are going to post the weird things, going to post the mean things, going to put the blame on somebody that they had no clue, but this is their brilliant take on the news.
Yeah.
If you don't forward it. Now, you're going to see it, you're going to read it, you're going to make it a judgment call. That's in your head already. It's going to have some effect. But if you don't share it, if you don't like it, if you don't repost it or retweet it or whatever, those people will die on the vine, if you pardon the expression, because they get their jollies out of, 23 people today said I was a brilliant orator of the thing. I think a lot of this can stop if we stop. Don't share.
Absolutely. Amen. Preach it, brother. That is the challenge of the way the social media algorithms are set up. You know, the things that get the more engagement do get more eyeballs. Yeah. And people they're leaning into an attention economy. I mean, I even see people on one of the social media things who aren't here, who aren't from Minnesota, who had zero connection, who are constantly posting things about, like don't forget, and this happened, and, say their names. And while that is true, it's also like, what are you getting out of this? Like you're getting hundreds of retweets or something. Like, why do you feel it necessary to insert yourself into the conversation?
Completely agree. And the other thing I would say then, and the other thought is, maybe those involved, the children, the parents of the Hortmans, maybe they've put themselves on a freeze from watching social media. And God, I hope so. Right? I hope so. But at some point, they will dip back in the media frenzy, and somebody's going to look it up, and these children are going to see the crap you say, and that's going to still hurt. Well, that's 2 years down the road, 5 years. At some point, that stuff doesn't go away. So keep it in mind if you really want to have those children, those grandparents, you want them to see this stuff, keep it in mind. It might not happen tomorrow, but at some point that stuff will leak. Somebody's going to bring it to school. You know what I'm saying? This has got long-reaching arms, and we have to be careful with that.
Absolutely. And our political discourse has gotten toxic enough that honestly, like most people who are family members of elected officials at many, many different levels have almost gotten used to seeing vitriol and nonsense and stuff on social media. So they're guarded against it a little bit, but this just takes it to a whole different level.
And as far as the media, I guess I'm in the media, if you will. I don't pretend to be a newsman or anything. This is the catnip for them. Every day, something's going to be said at a trial, and that's going to come up, and we're going to talk about the cat burglar, and these things are going to happen. This guy, Vance, what do we care what he has to say? Knucklehead comes out. He says, you don't understand my whole list. There's other pages in this conspiracy. The guy's a knothead. Let him talk to his lawyers. Let him talk. But here we are putting that out there, and then you have to talk about it. At some point, our responsibility is. But I'm telling you, he's a knothead. A knucklehead. Right. Don't put anything he says. Ooh, conspiracy. Now we know he's at. Stop. Just stop.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that I have been very hesitant. I mean, we have started, we use the term politically motivated assassination because when you have a list of legislators, I mean, obviously there were other people on that list, but when your list is primarily legislators and those are the people you're hunting, then obviously this is that isn't a jump.
He went to two other houses of also legislators. We knew, we're not jumping. Right. You don't need Dr. Phil here. Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, we don't know anything else. And so I have been very hesitant to ascribe a motive or to say, well, this is why, and this jump, because that may not actually be true. And in some ways, like jumping to why, what his motivation was or why this happened, that's sort of a natural human thing. Like we want to know why. But you're right. Like the how much airtime do we give somebody who created atrocities,
Yeah. That's where I'm at on it. Now we have to. It comes up. He's in the news today. Eichhorn and his lawyers had to do what they had to do. You got to talk. I get it, but just don't give it any credence. Just say what it is. The guy's lunatic. Lunatic said some lunatic stuff today. Go read it if you want, but it's not going to do anybody good. We'll talk what we can do about what we can do well with what we started this whole thing on. It takes me time to get to anything. It's a wandering path, Shannon. We're going to talk about what we can do weeks that Shannon's doing next, right after this.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
Do you have a closet full of old videos, photos, slides, or films? Regain that space and preserve those memories for future generations. Visit archivinglifemedia.com or call 952-829-8018. See how safe and simple it is to digitize all your media. Gain peace of mind knowing that all those important memories will be saved and can be seen and shared again. Do it today. Check out archivinglifemedia.com or give them a call, 952-829-8018.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
I know her. She's Shannon Watson with Majority in the Middle, but now we're talking the new thing. What can we do week or weeks? Don't want to keep it in the parentheses. .org. Tell us about this little organization. I'm going to let you know. I've filled out the thing, the app.
Yes.
I'm this close to submitting, but you got to talk me into it. Do I submit? Do I not? You tell me.
I think you should. So this is an initiative. It's a partnership with Majority in the Middle and several other organizations. And it came out of, obviously, the tragedy of the shooting and questions that started coming at us. What do we do? What can we all do to bring the temperature down? Like, things have gone too far. What the heck do we do? And for the first couple of weeks, I was getting those questions, and like, it was obvious, like, yes, we've got some answers. Yes, we have some suggestions, but it's not time yet. So we worked with partners to set up a couple of weeks. So July 31st through August 16th. And Majority in the Middle is doing some stuff. Partner organizations are doing some stuff. That's just really focused around, bringing back civility, creating some relationships, maybe resetting some relationships, because that may be the hardest thing to get over, is when, we have an idea of a person and we say, oh, you're part of the problem. So I'm not going to engage with you. Maybe reset that, maybe call people in instead of calling people out. And so we just have a framework of a couple of weeks. A lot of different partners are going to be doing stuff. We launched it yesterday and we're pretty excited about it.
I love that. Here's the civic pledge, if you don't mind me using your words. Civic
Absolutely.
Pledge for a stronger Minnesota, standing together for respect, dialogue, and democracy. As a community member committed to the well-being of our state and one another, I pledge to engage peacefully with my fellow Minnesotans, work in good faith to resolve disputes, reject political violence in all forms, and stand firmly against rhetoric that incites that violence. Embrace the hard but necessary work of finding common ground. And by signing this pledge, I commit to being part of Minnesota that confronts division, not with silence or hostility, but with hope, honesty, and shared responsibility. All right, I'm in. I'm signing it right now. I'm up. All you got to do is go to whatcanwedoweek.org. Whatcanwedoweek.org, and the actual program, the sign-up thing is right on the top. Now, I presume since I'm giving you my email address, I'm going to get a ton of stuff.
We're I try, my sort of personal thing is not bombarding people with emails a lot. But since it is a coalition thing, then we are trying to, get word out about different programming that people are doing. And then that pledge was the brainchild of a friend of mine, Nathan Stock, who has worked on political violence issues for years and years and years, and at sort of very serious levels. He's worked with multiple organizations in multiple countries, and sometimes getting to that, here's what we all agree on. It's one thing. It seems very simple. Like you read that and you're like, well, duh. But getting people, on the record saying, yes, this is the thing that we all agree on. So we're going to have an opportunity for community leaders to do sort of a signing ceremony on the 31st. Yeah, if you have somebody who you look up to and respect, who you think should get an invitation to be one of the community leaders to be part of that, there's a place on the website for you to nominate them.
They won't take it from me. They won't take it from me. I just tried to subscribe. It says, couldn't submit your form due to a temporary issue. Try again later. It's like Al Travis is on a list. I have no doubt. It's like, we will not allow some people in, and I'm on a list. No, I'll try it again later. I have no idea. It could be my internet for all I know. I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? If it doesn't work, let me know, because we don't want that to be a thing.
Yeah, I understand. Like, no. I'm like, what are you talking? No, I'm on with the boss. Anyway.
If you're beta testing our website live, it's very helpful.
That was a bad call. I should have waited. Yeah. Okay. No, join up today. It's whatcanwedoweek.org. I love the idea. There's the pledge we read. You can talk about the calendar events. There's guidelines on how to do this, the partners that are involved. You really went at this pretty hard, pretty quick. This happened in all 4 weeks. I'm very proud of what you've done.
Thank you. We had some support from a foundation, which is helpful. And then, like I said, just a lot of people really wanting to know what action can we take? What can we do? So we say, here's what we can do. .org.
Do you think, how do I put this? Don't we instinctively know? Obviously, we've gone too far. Let's bring it back. We've all had relationships, gone too far. You got to bring, right? Does it really take us having to do this? And I'm honestly, I think we have to. We've just went so far we can't even see our own way back.
And that's part of the challenge, is that we're working against several factors. We're working against, like I said, the attention economy and political culture where you're incentivized to divide rather than to sort of unite. I hate the word unite, by the way. I try not to use it because that seems silly. But finding that common ground is not something that is frequently rewarded. You have a lot of people on your program who are legislators who get some pushback for that, for not completely towing the party line, whichever side of that line that they fall.
You're an Al show. Oh my God. Yeah, I like them. We're going to run out of time.
Go ahead.
I'm going to run out of time. I want to say that I did resubmit and it took it, so I'm now subscribed. It might have just been my internet. It worked. Get yourself signed up today. But with 30 seconds to go, I just want to make sure everybody, whatcanwedoweek.org. That is the address where you can go. Get involved. Do it today. Don't do it. I'll do it later today. As you're sitting here thinking about it, whatcanwedoweek.org.
What we can do. What we can do.
What we can do. Thank you very much. Whatwecando.org. Whatwecandoweek.org. Ellen, you're a horrible host. Thank you for being Shannon. I love you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with more next week on The Al Travis Show.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together